Well, I believe I'm live. Yes, I am. It looks like I'm live. A little surprise live, spontaneous broadcast here. Hi, my name's Steve Sandner, and I'm in my beautiful new studio in downtown Vanderbilt, Michigan, with a tremendous internet connection and piano and a nice spot with lights and a background. I'm getting my green screen pretty soon. But anyway, hello. I'm going to do a little spontaneous dissertation on a couple of songs that I really like and that are really world-class standards. When I went to Morocco in 2003, I met some of the local musicians there who were making their living playing music. And they did private parties and kind of somewhat the same thing we do in the United States. And I said, well, what songs do you musicians play when you're playing these private parties? And they said, well, we do the American songs. The American songs are the ones that we play to make money from. And those are that's the biggest sellers for the type of crowd that we play for. Now, of course, professional musicians in Morocco will play the local ethnic music, the Arabic music, and that type of thing. But the musicians I met and talked to said they play the American standards. So here are two American standards that are world class and still played today on gigs by American musicians and musicians all over the world. And by the way, when I went to Singapore in 1989, I met a lot of the local musicians there, and this is the same thing. They play American songs in order to make a living on their gigs in Singapore as local working musicians. So these two songs are Girl from Ipanema and Moon River. So I'm going to play, just go over these songs. I'm doing a tutorial. Actually, I'm putting together a course in music theory for singers. And of course, these are two songs that singers are going to sing. So the first lesson is going to be about the basic structure of music. This is all sort of beginning theory. And I'll be talking about the structure of the song, the form of the song. And these two songs have slightly different forms. So there are in popular music, the two most common song forms are AA, BA, and by that I mean you play a section, a phrase. We could call it the A section. Then you repeat the phrase, which is another A. There's the AA. Then you play a contrasting section. That's the B section. And then you finally play another A section. So this gives the song form, and it's what gives the interest to the song. You have a contrasting section, and sometimes the B section is called the bridge. But anyway, here is a Moon River, and I'll play it and show you what I mean by the song form. This is A-B form. So you'll play Moon River, wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style someday. There's the A section. Then you go to the B section. It's in a different key, the relative minor. Maker, you are breaker wherever you're going. I'm going your way. Then you come back to the A section. It's very familiar. You already heard it at the beginning of the song. Two drifters with different lyrics, of course. Off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows, and this is the second B section. Waiting round the bend, huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. And the second B section is actually somewhat different from the first B section. You could almost call it B sub 1 section, or almost a C section, because it's that much different. So A B A C, let's call it that. So in the harmonic pattern, of course, the lyrics are brilliant, written by Johnny Mercer, who comes from Savannah, Georgia. He's a Southerner, and he has that little phrase, "Huckleberry Friend," which gives it all kinds of flavor and images. He claimed that he was not referring to Huckleberry Finn, the book by Mark Twain, but the idea of huckleberry is very prominent in the Southern culture, Southern consciousness. So you have the melody. You have in the key of C. Then this B section goes to A minor. Briefly to F. Then a descending partial circle of fifths, F sharp, minor 7th flatted 5th to a B 7th, and E minor 7th to A 7th, and D to G, and that goes right around the circle of fifths to the G, which is the dominant, leads you back to the 1 chord of C. For the second A section, drifters. Just as we heard the melody in the beginning. Then you have the C section, if you will. That melody has a delightful flatted 5th in the melody of the F flatted 5th of the F chord. Ends on the 1 chord, of course. That's in the key of C. So this is going to be a brief little session here, but I'm also going to go over the song "Girl from Ipanema," because both of these songs, Moon River and "Girl from Ipanema," are sometimes grown tired of by musicians. They'll say, "Oh boy, do we have to play that song again?" Well, one of the reasons these songs are played so often and requested so often is because they're good songs. They're very well crafted songs. They have a great symmetry and beauty to the melodies and also to the lyrics. So Moon River, by the way, was written by Henry Mancini, one of the great American songwriters who did a lot of films. He also wrote everybody knows that one, The Pink Panther. And he also wrote this one. Theme from Peter Gunn. And Henry Mancini wrote many, many movie songs, Charade, Days of Wine and Roses, just many, 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 many. And he set the standard for the popular harmonies of he sort of culminated the Great American Songbook. He came toward the end of the period of the Great American Songbook and sort of used the harmonies of that period to the fullest extent. And when I studied jazz and harmony at Berklee School of Music, they used his harmonic structures as the basis for the teaching of chords in the popular songs of the Great American Songbook. So anyway, Henry Mancini wrote Moon River. It was by far his most popular song that he wrote and the biggest moneymaker for him, I'm sure. So, all right. Why is some of these windows on my computer are popping up that I don't want to pop up? So I will close them out. Thank you very much. And the other song is Girl from Ipanema. It's usually played in the key of F, although it was recorded in the key of D flat when it became a popular song in 1962 or 1963, right around there. And I will go through it in the key of F because that's what most people recognize. And this song form is very familiar. Also, it's the very, very common AABA song form. So here's the A section. The first A section, and then repeats. Same thing again. Second A section. A and another A. Then the B section, or the bridge. Some very interesting changes there. Then back to the A section. Also is a counter melody in the bridge that I didn't play. That I just watched a video that analyzed this song in great detail by Adam Neely. You can look him up on YouTube. Adam Neely does a very in-depth music presentation, a weekly upload of his videos. He's quite popular by musicians on YouTube. And he goes into the very, very granular structure of Girl from Ipanema and shows why it is kind of a weird song in a way, but it has the musicians, the ones who don't get tired of it, can appreciate that the melody starts on a ninth. That you're playing an F chord as the one chord, and the melody is going from the ninth to the major seventh. That's quite jazzy. Then the second chord is a 2/7 chord, and then it's hitting the 13th of that chord. So, and then it hits the augmented 11th before it goes back of the flat 2 chord before it goes back to the 1 chord. So I don't want to get too in depth here, but it's you can have fun analyzing the song, put it that way. Then the bridge. That melody goes to the flatted 5th. The D 7th chord, then again to the flatted 5th of the 5 chord. And the flatted 5th, by the way, is kind of a hip chord among jazz musicians. It's that augmented 11th or flatted 5th. And it's one of the rich notes to play as kind of a hipster because it's way up there in the overtone series. The overtone series is what gives the pizzazz to the combinations of notes. And if you play the basic overtones would be like an open 5th, but the overtones get richer when you get to that augmented 11th. It's just close enough to be part of the overtone series without being outside of the overtone series, and it gives it, that's kind of jazzy and cool. It's just very cool. So Girl from Ipanema was a cool, very coolly harmonized song, and always fun to play. I never get tired of playing it, and I play it on my own if I don't get a request for it, and once in a while I'll even get a request for it. So anyway, I'm going to go through and play Girl from Ipanema. I enjoy playing it in D flat more because The song was originally recorded by Estrid Gilberto in the key of D flat. I heard the way the story goes, and I don't know if it's true or not. It was sort of a spontaneous thing at the recording session. They were looking for somebody to sing the song in English, and these were Brazilian musicians. So they found Estrid, who knew enough English to be able to sing the song at the recording session, and her key apparently was the best key for her was D flat, and all of a sudden some magic happened when they started playing the key in D flat. I have a hunch it was just kind of not arbitrary, but it was just a little stroke of luck that they hit that key of D flat with Estrid's voice, and then the sax also has different timbre of notes in the key of D flat, and the piano has that, you get that the open fourths in that register just ring, and the song just rings out in the key of D flat. It just they hit the sweet spot on that. So I'll just play a couple of bars in D flat, and then when I do the final NF, you'll hear the differences. That's D flat, so we're going to F, and this majority of musicians will play it in the key of F, because for some reason the song can be sung in the key of F by both male and female singers. I guess the song doesn't have that challenging of a range to it. So, and I do it in the key of F. So one more time, I'll play the song Girl from Ipanema, and notice the AABA form. Enjoy the song, and then I will say goodbye right after the song, and I'll see you next time. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah. When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool, sways so gently, and when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah. Oh, but I watch her so sadly. How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I would give my heart gladly, but each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, I smile, but she doesn't see. No, she doesn't see. She doesn't see me. All right, thank you for coming and listening for this short session. In a way, I'm trying out my new little studio here. Before I go, I'm going to just play a little video of my new studio. And before I forget, on the song Girl from Ipanema, check out Adam Neely's YouTube video where he goes in great detail. I think it's about 20 minutes long, analyzing the song Girl from Ipanema. I thought it was fascinating. Have fun with that. I'll put the link in the description after I'm done here, and I'll show you some pictures of my new studio, and then au revoir, à bientôt. See you next time. After a while, alligator, something like that. Here's my studio. So here we are outside. That's the outside of the building I'm in now. And in downtown Vanderbilt, Michigan, right on Main Street. That's Main Street. Doesn't look too busy now, but it can get... No, it doesn't really get busy. Sorry. It's Vanderbilt. And here's another view of it. How do I find it? Here we go. This building used to be an art gallery. And here's the inside of the building. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Although I did put down a little carpet, a couple of carpets. And thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time. Putting together the course, Music Theory for Singers. I'll have an announcement on that shortly. And we'll see you.